Don't turn it off now. You need this stuff. Tampa Bay's Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hey, yo, this is Rocky Balboa. Hey, talking sports with Randy Harris. Hey, yo, I got the whole family over here. I got yo Adrian, Coffin Lincoln, yo Butkus. Yo, man, how that sound, man? I want to sound like a Kentucky Fried Idiot.
All right, we are back for the final hour here, coming to you live from Tournament Pizza. So a couple of weeks ago, Matthew.
Yes.
Steve and I go to Salt Lake City. The UFC's in Salt Lake.
You did.
Now that we don't do the live broadcast on Wednesday, I kind of push it back a day. We go on Thursday. I'm like, it's Salt Lake City. I got some things to do.
Yeah.
I'm not going till Friday. Then I go out there and I see a press release that there's an event Thursday night with a company, a new partnership with the UFC, Cosm.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Don't read the press release.
Right.
I then go to the event, I come home, and I read the press release.
And it said?
And it said who the CEO is.
And it is?
And I was very disappointed in myself for not learning how to read earlier.
Okay.
And we have the CEO of Cosm on the phone with us right now. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, a good friend of mine. And I would have gone had I known Jeb Terry. Jeb, how are you?
Randy, I've been trying to get you to read for years.
I know.
I mean, it'll pay off one day, I promise.
I even reached out to the press people at the UFC. I'm like, couldn't you have told me? You would have seen the word Buccaneer. Why didn't you tell me? I would have flown out 2 days earlier. First and foremost, how the heck are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I couldn't be better. I'm not going to lie. I wish I was getting ready for practice right now and going out to become 2-0 like the Bucs are about to be, but I'm doing great. I hope you're the same with you.
Oh, things are great, and I was even going to ask that to you. It's been a couple years. Does it feel like it's been as long as it has been?
It's been more than a couple.
I was being nice.
You were being really nice. You were really nice. Yeah, it's been more than a couple, but goodness, miss it every day. It's an incredible privilege to be able to play the game and to play in an organization like Tampa, and miss it every day, man. But on to the next, right? And, I've managed to keep my days busy.
I remember we had a conversation quite a few years ago, and the three letters were dropped, the UFC, as you and everybody in that locker room knows, my association with the UFC. And you were thinking about doing some things, and you wanted to get involved with the UFC, and you got busy, I got busy, and other things happened. And then I see the press release that you are now doing some things, some very interesting things. So let's talk about the press conference that I missed, and what's going on with that partnership.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Look, the UFC, let's start with that. Incredible organization, incredible product, and the fan experience they deliver is really unmatched. And so we've always been a big kind of fan and admirer from afar of not only kind of the sport, but also the business behind the sport. And then watching as that company's continue to grow and evolve and getting to know their leadership and everything around it. And just really, really excited about the opportunity we have going forward and working together to continue to iterate and innovate on the fan experience and ideally make it just, more accessible and one more incredible thing for fight fans to enjoy.
So when I finally learned how to read that weekend and read the press release, and I talked to Dave Lockett and a couple people, they were trying to explain it, and they said it's going to enable fans to feel like they're in the ring during a fight. Explain that.
Yeah, it's one of these things. It's the greatest opportunity that we have at Cosm, but it's also the biggest challenge because it is really a must-see to believe type experience. We're able to combine some incredible technologies, and we call it the reality technology stack, meaning, all the immersive stack that's going on today. And the whole promise of being able to put you there, wherever there it is, whether it's inside the octagon, whether it's pitch side, whether it's the 50-yard line, whether it's courtside, we can do that in a scale that has been previously unmet. And now we bring the fandom around it as well. And we turn it into this massive experience, an incredible, watch party of sorts, where fans can come and see the live programming like they're actually there, and sometimes even closer to the action. When it comes to the UFC, it's almost like putting you inside the octagon, which is a pretty incredible experience.
Well, it could be a pretty incredible experience, or you could be in there for the John Jones-Stipe fight, and I'm not sure I want to be in that cage.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible the action you get to see and get in close. And look, at the end of the day, these are some fantastic athletes doing violent things, and energy and emotion is really unmet.
So, how do we do this? So a bunch of fans get together, they reach out, they go to the website, they say we want to do this, and it's set up in a theater room, it's set up in a movie theater. It's only there at.
So what we've done, we've announced our first 2 venues publicly, and we're going to be announcing a lot more here soon. First one opening in Los Angeles, second one opening in Texas, north of Dallas. And these are just incredible venues where you go to a Cosm. It is a venue that you go, and we have fantastic hospitality, great F&B, and amazing displays. These ultra high resolution dome displays that are proprietary to our business, and you can come in and you have this amazing seated environment, and you make an event out of it. It's the experience. It's literally as close to being on the floor of a major fight as you can get. And hundreds of people with inside the dome, up to 2,000 in the entire venue, and it's an amazing experience that we've seen fans flock to across all sports, and with UFC being really a primary anchor partner of ours, being able to show these live pay-per-views around the world.
What events are you in partnership with? Is it just the UFC? I know you mentioned, the pitch in baseball, and how does that work? And will it be every event, or pick and choose? Or I'm just trying to decide, am I going to LA or Dallas?
There's going to be a ton of programming throughout the day. We're really looking at bringing all matter of sports and entertainment to life in this new dynamic way. Some of the things that we've talked about already, we've talked about the UFC relationship. We've talked about a big NBA relationship. We've talked about a relationship with Cirque du Soleil from an experiential entertainment perspective, and a bunch of other creative artists, programmers, and I've got a lot more to share coming in later this year. And so the promise of having, your favorite sport or entertainment event really accessible in a way you can come and experience that all in a live venue with other fans, with your friends. That's really the promise of what we do, and it's on all the time, right? When you're looking at morning programming, evening, etc. We are programming these venues 24/7 if we can, and looking to identify those right locations really around the world to take the next one.
Very cool. So do me a favor, when you send the press releases out, at least the one that comes to me, put your name in big bold letters at the top so I know to read it.
Do I need to put the name in the title? Is that what it is? If it's in the title, then it's real.
Right. Then I'll definitely read it. So
first live pay-per-view.
Obviously, I understand Dallas, hometown, all that. So with your love for the Bucs, any possibility maybe number 3 will be here in the Tampa Bay area?
100%. I love Tampa. I love the energy of the city. I love everything about it. And my wife and I talk all the time. It's like, wow, maybe let's move back to Tampa. We loved our time there, and I'm actively looking right now for great locations in Tampa to bring another Cosm. And so again, we have big aspirational scale, and we're about to start announcing a few more sites in the not too distant future. And I'd love for Tampa to be one of those. And so we're actively looking. So I'm all ears for possible locations and where do you think we should go. Well,
that would definitely be awesome. On all of these sporting events, and you said a partnership with the UFC, and obviously, that business, and, I don't know what comes out and what goes out. Do you need to be in partnership with all of these sports and everything to be able to do this?
The sports media ecosystem is a complicated one. I mean, you know it very well, right? There's a lot of partners involved to go out and really execute what fans see either at the venue or on TV at home. And so, our job is to make sure that we can navigate that ecosystem in the right way, in the respectful way, in a collaborative team-based approach to deliver a new next-gen fan experience. And that's what really Cosm is. And so it is a complicated web, and we pride ourselves in understanding how that works. After my time in Tampa, I was in the startup world for a long time, as you know, and eventually went to Fox Sports, where I was an executive there for quite some time, and was able to really understand the ecosystem and how it all works together. And And so we work across all the various stakeholders and try to make sure we are accretive to the industry as a whole, for the end game of making sure we create another amazing fan experience so fans can really lean in and celebrate what they love best.
I could see this being an awesome facility to do some really great charity events.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's the things we can do in here are incredible. I mean, you know, we build all the technology ourselves in-house. We've been really collaborative in building this innovative culture that is really pushing the boundaries of what, you know, technology can do, both from a display perspective, but also the software, also the capture. The whole thing, and the private event space and everything around is incredible. The nightlife, the music experience, all these things really layer into an incredibly diverse set of programming that is, you know, promising to draw fans of all sorts.
We are talking to Jeb Terry, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Were you thinking after Bucks, after the NFL, while you were playing in the NFL, or did that kind of just progress when that time came?
Look, I've always been thinking about business for sure, and what I wanted to grow into as an executive and businessman. But when I was playing football, it was all football. I might have a counter opinion to some where I think it's such a privilege to play in the National Football League, and it's such a challenging environment. It needed all of what I had. You know what I mean? I mean, when I wasn't playing football, then you could lean in and do other things, but it really took all my attention, and it was one of these things where I was trying to take advantage of the seat I had on that 53 and doing everything I can to continue to win at the end of the day, win as an organization and win as an individual. And that's what I focused on. I couldn't get distracted with other stuff because, again, it's just such a privilege to be able to play. And so once it was clear to me that I was no longer playing good enough football to be in the National Football League, it was time to set the sights on other things and figure out what's next, figure out how I can leverage the great experience that I had playing the game, and apply that to the next phase of life and get on with it. And you know, I like to say I was, you know, fired from my dream job. You know, that's what you deal with in football, and you got to be able to digest it and get on to the next phase of your life.
Well, ironically, one of the reasons I asked that was another number 77 of the Bucs, you know, who was always thinking law school, kept going back to Florida during the off season. So, you know, sometimes, you know, they do think that, and that's what Brad did. How difficult was it? You know, you and I haven't, you know, talked in a long, long time, and I know some players, you know, yeah, they love it, but they were okay and they moved on. How difficult was that move away from your dream job into any of the other jobs?
It was hard. Look, that's the only way to put it. It's very, very hard. It's something you work for such a long time, and you know, I kind of look at my career, you know, to be bluntly honest, as an unrealized kind of potential. Something I think about all the time. You know, it's the circumstances that lead up to you having to move on. But I wanted to accomplish so much more than I was able to do. And so it was hard. It's hard to not be able to go back into the game and do the things you love, and it's hard not to have that, be able to see the output of that energy and effort daily that you get with live sports, with real sports. And so, look, it was a difficult transition, but I was able to do it and hopefully channel some of the energy that made me good at sports can hopefully make me good at the business world. And I'm starting to realize that, and I get great fulfillment now every day. But I will say there is absolutely nothing like a team environment with professional sports.
I wish I was around a better team. I know you were around a good team. These knuckleheads I got working with me, I need to find a better one. So, Cosm, when can people start the experience? How soon should they start, you know, planning? Tell us what we should tell the people.
Yeah. So, well, our first venue is opening in LA next year. We'll be coming up with the announcement date soon, but it'll be in the first half of next year. And then the second one in Texas will be opening later next year as well. So we'll have two venues opening, and you can trust me, we'll be very, very vocal about those opening dates. And then ideally, you know, we'll start to see them pop up in cities. The next few, we'll be announcing those soon, and we'll follow on dates from there. But the first two are opening next year. We're thrilled about it. We're thrilled about the partners we have, and hopefully whenever anyone is within driving distance of those destinations, they come see us.
Well, I know how to get on an airplane, so send me details, and whether we broadcast from out there or we just come out and experience, keep us informed, and we would love to come out there.
Great. We'll keep you posted.
All right, Jeb. Thanks for everything. I know we have your address. We're going to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong and some cool stuff from Bucked Up Energy Drink. Enjoy the rest of the week, and let's talk soon.
Will do. Thanks for the time, guys.
Yes,
Have a
sir.
great one.
Take care. That is Jeb Terry, former lineman of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How come I was always involved and friends with the linemen?
Yeah, the big guys.
The big guys.
Because you ran your mouth. You needed protection.
Well,
You talked stuff about Steve being the knucklehead and you need a better team. Totally threw that guy under the bus. Feel bad for him.
well, pretty much I was throwing you under the bus, not him.
Not me. We're not. There's no I in team.
Yeah, but there is an Emmy in that. You know, that's the famous Kobe line.
Oh, yeah.
You know that, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
pass
So,
me the
so,
ball.
so for people that don't know, real quick, and then we'll hit this break. At this ceremony, you know, for Kobe, Shaq gets up there, and he's telling the story, and he said how some of the Lakers came to him and said, "Shaq, what's going on? You need to go talk to Kobe. Kobe's not passing the ball. We need to this. We need to that." And Shaq went to Kobe, and he said something, and he goes, "You know, there is no I in team." And Kobe goes, "But there is an M-E in that blankety blank." Awesome.
Hold on, before you pass on, like the Cosm thing.
I'm hoping not to pass on.
I was gonna ask two questions, but I didn't have the courage to ask them. But one, like, I wonder if Jeb thinks that eventually this will become personalized, where it'll be the same experience in your living room, where you have some kind of a device or something where you can make it where you don't have to go to an arena or with thousands of people. And also, what about like something like actual documenting that experience of war, like being able to be on the ground in a real fight in a war, if like his technology would be able to like make things like that you would never have access to otherwise as a civilian, where you feel and see and maybe get a better understanding of what the military families truly sacrifice for the freedom that we all live under.
What was the second dumb question? You said you had two questions you were scared to ask.
Well, I guess those are good questions. So yeah, you're definitely talking about Steve.
Oh, you're an idiot. Good stuff from Jeb, though. And I'm going to plan on going out there to L.A.
He's an alumni of Culver Military Institute.
Yes, he is.
And my buddy
North
was a
Carolina?
boxing instructor, so might have been the one to teach him how to fight. Maybe teach him what it's like to be in the trenches in war in the NFL.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead and hit your break.
Let me just poke your eye out.
It is break time.
It is break time. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by Staff Zone. 8 Man